All right, hello everyone, it's silverkyle, and today we're going to be taking a look at some recent 4K and Blu-ray pickups that I got from Black Friday sales. These were specifically from Amazon, and this is my only pickups from Black Friday. Normally I get video games, but this year the sales were just abysmal. Like, there was nothing that really caught my eye. I either already had it, the price itself was only $10 or $20 off the original asking price, or the level of how much I wanted it. So if I was kind of like, I might pick that up if this sale price is low enough, hadn't really hit that sweet spot. So I decided to pass on all video games, but I did get some Blu-rays, and most of these are 2023 movies because I want to rewatch some of my favorites from this year to really nail down my top 10 2023 films. I already have a list, and there's 6 more movies that I still need to watch for this year before the end of the year, and I want to rewatch them. So a lot of movie watching in the next few weeks, but let's dive into some non-2023 movies, starting with The Shining. I love this movie. This was on sale. I had to pick it up because I'm going to be reading the book for the first time in January of 2024. So next month I'm going to be reading it, and I know I'm definitely going to want to rewatch this again right after it because it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've seen it the last time, and this is just a great movie. Jack Nicholson is a phenomenal actor, and when you give him a creepy role like The Shining with Stanley Kubrick directing and a Stephen King novel, it's a match made in heaven. This is fantastic, and the wife in this also does a great job. So I'm really looking forward to this and kind of seeing how it compares to the book when I finally read the book next month. Next up, we've got a guilty pleasure of mine, and that is Air Force One with Harrison Ford. I pretty much love all of Harrison Ford's movies. It's much like Jack Nicholson. Whenever either of these are in a film, I feel like even if it's a bad movie, at least their acting parts will be tolerable, and they'll make it a little bit better than what it originally would have been without them. This movie, though, is just pure 90s action, and I absolutely love it. He's the president, and he's on Air Force One, and it gets hijacked by terrorists, specifically Gary Oldman, who did a really good job as a terrorist. I believe it's a Russian terrorist or something like that. Great little movie. And Harrison Ford is one actor that if you watch him, his fight scenes seem more realistic than a regular choreographed fight, because he kind of just stumbles his way into the fight scenes. And you look at his facial reactions, he's just like throwing himself in there and kind of looks bewildered. It's just great stuff. I really enjoy his action scenes in any of his movies. Now we've got some 2023 movies. Speaking of really good action stars that are still going today, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is Mission Impossible 7. We've got 7 movies of this team. Well, specifically Tom Cruise. I mean, everybody else. Well, Luther's been there for a very long time too. He's been there since the first movie. I love these. I've been a fan since the first movie, which is such a clear departure of what we are at now. Like, this is completely different. I feel like they were testing out the waters. They did a really good job with a 90s spy film for the first Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 2 that was kind of bad. That kind of jumped the shark, and it was like, oh, hopefully they just never make any more of these. They kind of got their footing a little bit back in the third one. It is very different from the first. And then the fourth one was what I think they wanted the third one to be. And after that, they just got everything right. 4, 5, 6, especially 6. 6 is excellent. And now 7. I'm so sad that part 2 of Dead Reckoning here, which is the sequel to this one, is delayed, and we were supposed to get it next year. We're now getting it in 2025. That's really unfortunate, but definitely looking forward to it, and I'm going to be very sad when that series is over. Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible. If they decide to go with a different crew, I'm not going to be interested. I do not care. I potentially might watch them because I think that if they get the right director and good writers, it could still be an interesting spy film, but it will never reach the heights of the Mission Impossibles with Tom Cruise. Hopefully it'll be better than the second one, though. If they do better than the second one, I'll kind of be happy. Another movie with an old action star kind of reprising a role that I never thought we would see until maybe a few years ago. And I was like, they could do it with some multiverse stuff. And that is The Flash. I don't know if I'm being tricked into liking this movie because of my love for Michael Keaton as Batman returning as the 89 Tim Burton Batman. His introduction, like, there's a lot wrong with this movie. Even the introduction of Bruce Wayne again, it's kind of bad. But right after that, pretty much everything else I enjoyed thoroughly with Michael Keaton. There's the one scene with like him like gliding down and getting into that big fight scene, and it's just pure fun. I loved it. It was so good. It's one of the best Batman action sequences that I've ever seen. The only one that would probably top it is with Ben Affleck's Batman versus Superman action scene where he's fighting the thugs. Those are the two by far best parts. And it just, Michael Keaton returning as 89 Batman. It's so much fun. The Flash himself actually did an okay job. He was better than I expected him to be in this film. Outside of maybe, the beginning with the babies. Oh, what was that? A lot wrong with the movie, but some things I did very much enjoy. Here's a movie, the only movie that wasn't on sale because it had just come out, and the only movie in this bunch that I have not seen. And I'm really hoping I like it. Oppenheimer. It's Christopher Nolan. The cast is absolutely phenomenal. Cillian Murphy being the main actor, finally, for a Nolan film, I'm all for it. Like this, I'm thinking I'm going to very much enjoy. I might be wrong, but it's an all-star cast. Like Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr. Like, I should like this. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. Very excited. And in 4K too. This is going to be great. I really should have gone to the theaters to see that. I didn't. And last but not least, the only Blu-ray here, because they don't have a 4K of it, is Missing. I really enjoyed this movie. If you like Search, it's not as good as Searching is. And I would recommend, if you haven't seen either of them, definitely watch Searching before this one, as that one is so much better. But it's probably in my top 20 films of all time. Searching. Missing is one of my top 10 by the looks of it for 2023, depending on the rewatch and the 6 other movies that I need to watch. But it's up there. I definitely still recommend it. It's just not as good as Searching. And the premise here is that everything is filmed through either webcams or your iPhone or your cell phone, and like the door cameras that they have, like when you ring the doorbell. So that's the only way that it's filmed, and you get a story of a person that does go missing, and the main character is trying to figure out what happened to her mother. Good stuff. Searching did it better, but I'm very happy that they're kind of still continuing on with this kind of genre type of film. So that's everything I picked up for Black Friday 2023. Let me know in the comments below what you ended up picking up, and if you've seen any of these movies and what you think of them. So thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage.